different forms, including to those who are just doing their job on behalf of the greater community when we needed them to do the job. So on behalf of the people of Erie County, I want to thank the Labor Council for continuing to be out there on the front lines, reminding everybody about why we need to be fighting for the men and women of our community who are fighting for us every day. 1,900 of our fellow county residents have died since the beginning of COVID. They were fathers, mothers, grandparents, siblings, but often, unfortunately, they were the sons and daughters of our neighbors. And so as we live through this experience and remind ourselves what we went through, let's never forget the individuals who are not with us today so that we could be here today, because they put their lives on the line, and unfortunately, some of them are no longer with us, by just going to their job to ensure that each and every one of us was protected when we needed them to protect us. On behalf of the people of Erie County, once again, we are proud to host and have this wonderful Workers' Memorial at Chestnut Ridge Park. It is one of the true assets of what is our crown jewel of the park system. And while it may not be the true Workers' Memorial Day, let us always remember those, whether it was an individual who was unfortunately killed in an industrial accident 100 years ago, or when we return here next year, about the individuals who unfortunately perished in 2020 and 21, just doing a job so that each and every one of us could get by in our daily lives. Thank you to all.
Thank you very much, County Executive Mark Poloncarz. So, every year on April 28th, the union and the AFL-CIO observe Workers' Memorial Day. Today, we're going to observe that. It's a day to honor workers who have died or suffered illness or injuries while on the job. Workers' Memorial Day is especially poignant this year as the tragedy of serious workplace accidents has been compounded by COVID-19 deaths and senseless workplace violence. We talk each year about the numbers of those that we've lost. In 2019, it's recorded that 5,333 lives, which is approximately 15 people each day, have died. But I've looked at that number, and it doesn't really show how many people have been affected by this death. This death in the workplace affects not just that worker, but each one of their spouses, their significant others, their partners. They could have been a father, a mother, a son, a daughter, or a sister, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a grandma, or a grandpa. They were probably somebody's friend. This is thousands of lives impacted by death in the workplace. I read a very interesting article on Western New York Labor Today about Mother Jones, a woman who dedicated her life to improving conditions for working people. She is the one who most famously has said, "We pray for the dead and we fight like hell for the living." Our rally call each and every Workers' Memorial Day. But she is also quoted as saying, "In spite of oppressors, in spite of false leaders, in spite of labor's own lack of understanding of its needs, the cause of the worker continues onward. Slowly, hours are shortened, giving him leisure to read and to think. Slowly, his standard of living rises to include some of the good and beautiful things of the world. Slowly, the cause of his children becomes the cause of all. Slowly, those who create wealth of the world are permitted to share it. The future is in labor's strong, rough hands." This was said almost 100 years ago, and incredibly, it still rings true today. Our future is in our hands. We must not give in, and we must not give up. We must push to get the PRO Act passed. I want to thank some of those people in attendance here today who have been fighting for the passage of that, including our Congressman Brian Higgins. The PRO Act gives us a fighting chance to improve the working class. It will allow workers to freely exercise their right to form a union and have a voice on the job. We can best honor our fallen brothers and sisters by protecting those that are left behind, and that